Hi everybody, Interceptor here, and we're going to talk about two subjects briefly today. The independent uses of the subjunctive and also briefly conditionals. Conditions are very important. So independent subjunctive is when the main verb is in the subjunctive. And since the subjunctive is not an indicative mood, it's not just a simple statement. So it could be what's known as jussive subjunctive. Might we do this? Let us do this. We should do this. It could also be optative, which is more of the might we do this. I wish we could do this. If only we would do this. Those are two of the main types of independent subjunctives. There's a couple other independent. Those are the main kinds of independent subjunctives. There's a couple other dependent. Cum clauses. Cum can mean when, since, although. Those take subjunctives. Proviso clauses, relative clauses of characteristic. Provided that this should happen, subjunctive. Relative clause of characteristic, as I just mentioned, the type of person who. So when you're not referring to a specific relative thing, but a general relative pronoun, you'll use the subjunctive. And also fear clauses, I'm afraid that this might happen. Those are all things that you see, not the main four, but these are all around. Cum clauses in particular. Cum clauses, be aware for those, a type of subordinate clause. And then finally, conditionals. If this happens, then this should happen. There are a total of 6 different kinds of conditionals, 3 that use indicative, 3 that use subjunctive, and you can kind of mix and match them a little bit. The indicative are very easy to translate because you just translate them like indicative. If this happens, this happens. But when you get into the subjunctive, you might say if this were to happen, this would happen. If this had happened, this would have happened. If this should happen, this would happen. And they all use just a different tense of the subjunctive mood to get that across. So you'll really, from this lesson, if you want to read Latin, spend some time with independent subjunctives, not hard, but just know they exist, conditions, and cum clauses. Those are probably the 3 final big things. Next time, I'll just briefly touch on a couple other finer small points, but then we can just get to Twitch and just reading some Latin because that's the best way to learn. Bye!